everyone, welcome to Gusto News on Gusto TV Africa. My name is Emma, and yes, on the news today we have a lot of people. Yes, a lot of people. We have Joey Akan, we have Emma, we have YC, we have Asha, we have Ladipo, we have Vector. We have a lot of people. Like, this particular news is long. But before going on to what we have for you on today's news, I want to say thank you for all you do for us here on the channel. We see all of it, and we really do appreciate you. And also, if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, guys, please do not forget to subscribe. And also do not forget to click on the post notification bell so as to know when we drop new content and also when we drop new videos for you. Alright, so Joey Akan and Emma in the building. There's been a whole lot of dragging and bass going on Twitter. And yes, they've been talking about the whole cabal thingy, and when a particular artist or a particular record label owner will just come and say, you know what, this artist, I do not want this artist to blow, I don't want this artist to go forward, let's look for a way to actually cut short this artist. And remember, there's the time Kizania actually came out to talk about this whole cabal thing. Like, he really came out saying, what, in the industry, if you do not belong to a cabal, you are not going to go forward. If you don't have a godfather, you're not going to do anything in the industry. And also, Chudike actually came out to call out a particular record label owner, talking about the fact that the record label owner actually paid radio stations not to play his song because he wanted this artist that was actually signed under his label at that time to actually do better than him, because at that time they were actually the reigning people. So yes, in the industry there's this thing called cabal, and a whole lot is actually going on in the industry. And yes, today Joey Akan has decided to draw Emma, like drag him. But then Emma has said, you know what, guy, I'm all for it. So yes, we're going to be going through some of the tweets and all of the conversations that have been happening on Twitter. So it all started from DaBaby coming into Nigeria. We all know that DaBaby is actually a rapper, but then he actually came into Nigeria to just see Davido and have his video shoots and just go back to his country. But the fact that a lot of people started talking that, okay, why didn't DaBaby have some sort of meet and greet with other Nigerian and rappers in Nigeria, and this didn't sit well with some certain people. So Joey Akan actually tweeted on Twitter saying, why is DaBaby not having one-on-one with local Nigerian rappers? No meet and greet, no hailing. We need the culture to respect Nigerian rappers. You rappers should go and drag Davido now, since entitlement is usually your first name. So he's actually, he actually called out rappers, talking about the fact that these guys are always entitled, and told them that, okay, you know what, since Davido brought in DaBaby and there was no meet and greet, there was no hailing, DaBaby didn't even try to say, okay, let me even meet other rappers in the country. He was like, okay, do you know what, guys, if it's sure for una, make una go drag Davido, since una like entitlement. And someone decided to drag YC into this conversation, like from nowhere. They just dragged this guy into the conversation, and he actually called YC some sort of name, and Joey Akan had to caution him immediately, saying, stop this, no cause person will no do you anything, stop. So actually Joey Akan actually came out to stand in for YC to say, you know what, this guy didn't do anything wrong to you, do not start to insult him. So like I said, this particular one did not sit well with some people, and one of the people this one didn't actually sit well with is Emma. But then we're going to get to that tweet. Joey Akan also went ahead to say, Joey hates Nigerian rap. I don't. I just watch Ladipo rap over a pop beat, surrounded by pop singers and a machinery that powered to make pop successful. I want that for all of you. I want that for even those of you who are my worst critics. If that's a crime, guilty. So he actually talked about the fact that Ladipo was actually vibed to a particular pop song, and that is the Overdose by the Maven's new signing. On that particular song, Ladipo actually killed. Like, he brought a rap and he mixed it with pop, and it was really beautiful. So Joey Akan is saying, you know what, this is what I actually want for all of you, all of us to do well, all of us to actually succeed. And he's saying, if this is what you guys actually call an offense, then fine, I'm actually guilty. So like I said, this particular one, didn't sit down with a whole lot of people, and they started trying to drag in one person from this side to the other, and somehow they, even dragged Asha into it. So Joey Akan went ahead to say, even the Asha way una they used to prime example of successful alternate artists. No waiting time to talk. After the success of the past in Europe, which spilled into Nigeria, when she come this market, she employed pop producers to make a pop album and pop hit for her. Go pop. Yes, Asa actually, is someone that's an successful alternate artist, but then she knows that right now a lot of youngins don't want to listen to rap or all those old kind of songs. They want to listen to pop. They want to listen to the youngins. And she was like, okay, do you know what, I'm going to be dropping an album very soon, but then I'm going to bring the reigning guys into this project to make sure that it actually works. And yeah, she worked with the likes of Prime, and the album was a banger. The album was a mega hit. He also went ahead to say, in the last 7 years, 99% of the artists who have broken through and found success in the market have been pop. And the ones who have found success in foreign markets, now still the same pop. Sit with rappers who switch, they will thank God for sense, while ensconced in success. So he actually talked about the fact that 99% of the people or the artists who have done well both locally and internationally are actually pop artists, and also mentioned the fact that some rappers, like some OGs in the past, realized that rap is not doing so well in the country, so they just decided to switch, do pop today, add a little bit of rap. And one of the OGs who is actually currently doing that is Olamide. Olamide is an indigenous rapper, but this guy still once in a while gives us the pop kind of stuff, because right now that is what the market is asking for. Yeah, and this one also said many dragged Asha for a watered down project and berated her for featuring Wizkid. You know what, the song with Wizkid is the most streamed, and the project has performed better than all her albums combined on Boomplay. Artists must stop them be human beings too. Yes, a lot of people talked about the fact that Asha decided to switch her sound, and they were not okay with the fact that Asha actually decided to switch her sound, and they loved the former Asha, but then also went ahead to talk about the fact that she featured Wizkid on that particular album. But yes, like this Twitter user is actually saying, that particular song with Wizkid is the most streamed and the most streamed project of Asha's, all of the albums she has done in the past. This particular project has the most streamed and most number combined together. Like, this one is really beautiful. All right, so like I said, this one did not sit well with some OGs who are rappers in the industry, and they decided to actually join the conversation. That was where the fire started to burn. And one of the people in the industry who decided to talk was MI Abaga. Yes, MI, our former African #1 rapper, decided to come and decided to drag Joey. And Joey was like, okay, do you know what, guy, I'm actually ready for this particular one. So MI went ahead to say, you have a small mind, so not sure you understand what false equivalency is. What's the point of this tweet? To insult rappers for wanting respect. I guess self-respect would be an offensive idea to you. Insecurely to Joey, insulting people to feel better. Grow up. So this particular tweet MI actually responded to was the one he talked about that baby being in the country and not having a meet and greet with other rappers. And MI is coming out to say, how dare you say something like this? Are you trying to insult rappers? Are you trying to say we demanding respect is actually wrong? And Joey decided to give him a response, and Joey said, Jude, once upon a time you didn't have to demand respect from anybody. Your artistic impact automatically gave you that. Ask why you are demanding it now. So he's saying, you know what, in back then when you were one of the top artists, you didn't need to demand respect to anybody. Like, respect is actually given to you because you earned it. But why are you demanding respect right now? He went ahead to say, tell your people the truth. MI Abaga, stop crying over recross on Twitter. You dishonored us, rap, and your legacy. Like, what did MI actually do in the past that will make Joey Akan to actually spill this? He said, you dishonored us, rap, and your legacy. Then MI went ahead to say, let it be known that Joey Akan is an enemy of Nigerian hip-hop, a vile mind that continuously spits on our effort and debases the hip-hop community. You are a persona non grata and no longer welcome in the culture. So this is MI coming to say, Joey Akan is totally against hip-hop and the community, and he's saying, you know what, you are no longer interested no longer welcome in the community. Then Joey said, King of Nigerian hip hop has excommunicated me. You are not that guy, Jude. You no longer have that influence you used for evil in the past. You used for evil in the past. That's to say, you know, when MI was still trending, when he was still our African rapper #1, he did a whole lot of bad things back in the days. But then, who never fuck up before? Then he also went ahead to say the industry doesn't rate you. Your past sins speak against you. He also went ahead to say you are still stuck in 2011. That's why you are crying for recross. Then Emma went ahead to say, if I don't demand respect, why are you constantly on my head? Why are you always on my case? Why are you just following back to back? Then Joey said, I have stood you up 3 times, Emma, when you wanted to use me to attack an artist. You ruined their career. I refused. And you have hated me for it. Leaking dirt on your artists to further damage their career. You know why I never attended those meetings? Because you are evil. Like, these are actually really strong, you know, accusation. Like I said, there's been a whole lot of talks of this cabal thing, and you know, one artist or one big artist or one big record label just wanting to shut down an artist's career for no reason. Maybe because they feel this artist is actually better than them, and they're like, okay, do you know what? I don't want this guy to go further. I don't want him to be better than me. I don't want him to be better than my artist. Why not just, you know, shut him down and pay radio stations? But then, or pay radio stations not to play their songs, or pay, you know, people to come out to talk about them, or pay blogs and all of this. But then everybody needs to be dragged, even those radio stations, and they need to be dragged into this conversation. You see this behavior, this is exactly what they did in the past to multiple artists looking for to exist in this space. Before the internet came, when they made phone calls and removed their other artists from radio and success. Like I said, once an artist is trending, they make sure, you know, they don't, you know, play this artist's song on air or do anything good for them. It's always, you know, one bad thing or the other. And also went ahead to say, you ruined lives, Jude, but this is 2022. And it also went ahead to say, stop doing this. Did you try to use me as a tool to destroy an artist that once called you father and ate from the same plate as you? I ghosted you because you wanted to compromise me for evil. Answer the question and stop calling me and threatening me. Vector was right. So yes, he finally decided, you know, to open old wounds and, you know, decided to drag Vector into this particular conversation. We all know that in the past, Vector and MI had a whole lot of back and forth. They were always, you know, calling out each other. There was a whole lot of, you know, back and forth going on with these guys. And, you know, somehow along the line, you know, Hennessy decided, you know, to call these guys for an interview, and things actually died down a little bit. But now Joey Akan is actually coming out saying, you know what, whatever Vector actually said in the past is right. So the question is, was Vector the artist that, you know, MI was trying to ruin his career in the past? Like, what really happened, you know, between these guys? And MI now said, we spoke on the phone and you called Nigerian rappers poor and depressed. You are no longer welcome in our culture. Goodbye, Joey Akan. And Akan said, I said I speak with a lot of poor and depressed rappers being held down by notions of the past, but you wouldn't say that part. Since we are sharing details of conversation, Jude, are you tactically giving me permission to share our conversations? Like this. So they're actually, you know, having conversations happening in the past, and you know, Joey is saying, do you know what? Since you want to share conversation, should I start dropping receipts? Should I start dropping receipts? And Emma went ahead to say, Oga, just share it. If there's anything, you know, to hide, if there's anything to clear, just share it. And Emma also went ahead to talk about the fact that he has been wanting to have this conversation, so he would clear, you know, his name, because a whole lot has been said. Maybe Joey has said a whole lot behind Emma's back, and Emma has been saying, Emma is currently saying that he's been waiting for this particular conversation, so he'll be able to clear his name. And he told Joey to go ahead and drop receipt. But then Joey came out to say, hey, at MI Abaga, I will no longer race you to the bottom. Your closest friends, family, and people you hold dear have called me to beg on your behalf, and I will listen. I have respect. Have a great day, OG. Even at OG, this is him coming out, you know, to respectfully drag MI. Like, he's dragging MI respectfully, make it no be like say no give her respect. So you see, at the end of the day, now OG you still be. So because your family and friends have actually called me to beg on your behalf, I'm going to let you be. And MI responded with cap saying, guy, you are just talking too much. Drop receipts. Like, I really want us to get to the bottom of this, but right now we're going to stop here, and if there's more gist, definitely we'll bring it back to you right here on Gusto TV. All right, guys, so with MI and Joey Akan, I'll be rounding up the news for today. Tell us what you think about the news in the comment section, guys, and I'll be in the comment section responding to some of your comments, if not all. We'll see what you do for us here on the channel, and we really do appreciate you. Bye for now. My name is Emma.